Hi, my name's Simon. Welcome to another episode of EV Musings, and today a little bit different. I'm solo today, so Gary is taking a much needed break this week, and this week I'm going to walk you through a average week of me and my charging, and completely away from home charging. So that means all public or business related charging. So during this week I do approximately 400 miles and I use a combination of Polar, New Motion and Instavolt for my charging. So I will go through a day-to-day account of that and summarize at the end exactly how much I've used, how much it costs, and I hope you really enjoy this week's episode. So Tuesday's charge was a regular journey that I do to my office and back. So that's a 70-mile round trip. I charged at work on a 7 kilowatt New Motion charger. I leave my car basically plugged in for the day, so if it's cold or it's warm I can preheat or cool when I come out. No one else uses it, which is good. And that's approximately 10p a kilowatt as well. So with the journey back home, I'll probably be left with a 90-mile range on the guessometer, and that will put me in good stead for Wednesday's journey to a customer site. So having a work charger certainly where it is at the moment is very convenient and takes some of the issues out of public charging. So Wednesday I started with about 80 to 90 miles on the guessometer, and I had a 50-mile round trip, and I didn't really need to stop, but I've got a long journey to Wolverhampton the next day, so I'm at Milton Keynes Coach Works, and I've topped up to 98%, put in 14.2 kilowatt hours. That took about approximately 24 minutes, and that's about, I think it's 10 to 14p a kilowatt now. So the next top up, or the next charge, will be en route to Wolverhampton tomorrow. So it's Thursday now, and I had to do an additional piece of travelling yesterday, about another 30 miles. So I got up this morning with 88 miles left and about 68%. So I've stopped at the Coachway in Milton Keynes to charge, put approximately 14 to 15 kilowatts in, and up to about 95, 96%. For a travel up to Wolverhampton, which is approximately 110 miles. So we'll charge on the way back, and I'll update this then. So another update for Thursday, which will be the last update. I'm charging at an Instavolt charger in Wolverhampton on the way home. I had 60 miles in the guessometer. I'm going to charge it up to about 95, 96% for the way home, because it's about 110 miles home, and it's 35p a kilowatt, so it's probably going to cost me £5 or £6 in this case. So that's the wrap up for the charging for this week. Just to remind everyone, that evens out basically over what I would normally do to the office and maybe some out and about trips. So it'll, whether I'm going to the office or out and about, and with me working from home a day or so, it works out about the same. So I'll wrap up with the total costs and total mileage done for this week, so you get a good idea of how that all works out. So in summary, after a week of journeys, part working from home, but the week should basically even out in that I've done one final trip back to the Milton Keynes charging hub on the way home on the Thursday. That will cover me for Friday because I'm also working from home, but approximately done about 360 miles, approximately about 10 to 12 pounds in costs, and the highest one of those was Instavolt at £6.26 for about 24 kilowatts of charging. and the rest was quite reasonable. The rest was probably about £6 between New Motion and Polar. And New Motion I use at work. They are 7 kilowatt chargers. I leave those in during the day and come out and my car is charged. They're approximately 10p a kilowatt, and usually my car's charged within 2 to 3 hours being on there, but I can leave that all day if I want to. And then the other ones, the Polar ones, or mainly the ones that I've used for the rest of it, have been at the Milton Keynes charging hub. So I think they're around 14p now a kilowatt. So you're only talking around £2 or so for charging, and I generally charge up to about 95%. So the only expensive one out of all of them, but again reliable, was an Instavolt charger in Wolverhampton, about £6 for the charge. But you pay for the charging facilities, the convenience and the speed. So I don't actually mind paying for those. If I'm going on long journeys, I just want to plug into something, can it be working and reliable? So that's always great to just turn up to those and they work. They're contactless payment, so you swipe your contactless card, you charge, and away you go. And it must be said, actually, now at the Milton Keynes charging hub, they've now upgraded their machines to use both. All of the ones around the charging hub have both got the ability to take a membership card, like I've got, or a swipe card as well. So that's really good that they're starting to upgrade those. So those will become the normal, and it takes away all that hassle and pain of having to carry different cards, apps and everything else like that. So all the charging companies, I hope, are taking note and are going that way, or at least giving you the choice, which is important. So yeah, so I done a video of this on my YouTube channel around I live in a flat and I have an electric car. How do I cope? And 1.5 years down the line, things have changed so much in that I don't really think about it so much now. If I'm on longer journeys today, I'll generally plan a couple where I want to stop or when I want to stop. As many people will say, my bladder generally goes before the range does, so that's always a good indication. And it's just easy. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult to go on longer journeys. I managed a 220 mile round trip today with very little effort, very minimal amount of stops, and it was just easy. And the rest of the week is just easy. Well, actually, when I'm at work, do I need to charge? Probably not all the time. It's just convenient to do it. So I could probably get away with 2 to 3 journeys in my BMW i3 without having to do that. So it just shows that if you're thinking about buying an electric car and you're in the same situation of no off-street parking and you're not sure whether it'll work for you, it can. It just takes a little bit more planning sometimes, understanding your mileage, understanding how much realistic world range or miles that you actually do, and go for it. Just don't be scared and don't be put off, and don't listen to the rumour mongers that like to diss electric cars and their ranges and things like that. It can work for you. Just work that mileage part out first. No one really needs a 400-500 mile range car. They just don't. Yes, it's great to have it, and if you can afford it, why not? But you don't have to. Anyway, that's my episode, my solo episode for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with me and Gary. And until next time, thanks for watching. And if you want to get hold of myself, then I'm the EV side on both Twitter and YouTube. And check the respective details below for all the other contacts and content. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.